Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video this evening I'm going to record. Fuck, like an idiot. I haven't taken I only now remembered to take my medication. I gotta take medication at a certain time. Otherwise I'm fucking have a shit night's sleep tonight because I've taken it late. Anyway, so I was watching a YouTube video. I forget his name. He's a big YouTuber. His name's Camelot. I think it's Camelot 331 or fuck some random numbers after it. Where he talks about this guy. He's an American YouTuber, and he talks about his time working in GameStop, which is the American version of Game that we've got over here in the UK. I think he was like a manager, store manager or something, and he spills the beans and he talks about how bad the company works, spills the beans, you know, and the dodgy company policies. There was one video where he shared, or he was live on a conference call, which I think is fucking nuts, and the stuff these idiot area managers were talking about. It just, it's given me the idea, basically. I've worked in retail a long time as well. I don't work in retail anymore, thank fuck. I would like to say I've got, I don't know, 15 years experience working in retail. I've worked from Christmas temps up to regional manager when I was living in London. I won't tell you what brand. It was a fashion, mid-range fashion brand I was a regional manager for. Maybe I'll talk about, see how well these videos do, you know. But yeah, I've got a story. I worked, well, funny enough, when I worked with Currys. Those of you who don't know, if anyone's watching from any other country in the UK, it's one of the biggest, or it was when I was there, it was the biggest electrical retailer in the UK. Now, I worked for Currys. I started off as a Christmas temp. Then I worked my way up to warehouse manager, team lead, sales team leader then in a couple of stores. And I worked my way up there. I was 2 stores. I was assistant manager before I fucking jumped ship. But I got this, I would play, obviously we're playing Ghost of Tsushima as well. There's not going to be any spoilers if you're watching this just for the gameplay. I finished the main story, the main campaign. I'm just running around. I just love this game. I don't want to stop playing it. I'm just doing like liberating. I'm going to liberate the north. So I'm just going to go to this base here. So I'll do a quick fast travel and we get into my story. So I was in the Bridgend store. This was what were we, 2020, over 10 years ago now. And I was dealing with some personal issues at home. It was some dodgy stuff going on, which I later found out in the way Currys work. This is the reason I left, basically. I was put into that store as an assistant manager because they wanted to manage out another assistant manager. I won't get into that, but it was disgusting how they were treating this experienced assistant manager, you know. He'd worked for the company for years, and I think they just wanted to get rid of him. I don't know why, but anyway, yeah, so I was there, and as an assistant manager, let me just turn this down. I used to work, you either do like I think it's an 8 till 5 shift if you're opening the store, or if you're closing, I think it was 11 till 8 shift. So I was doing the 11 till 8 shift, right? So I went in, normal, and what had happened before I'd started was a customer had come in. Now this customer, supposedly disabled customer, had come in. He had the fucking walking stick and all that. But again, this was before my shift had started. He'd come in and he wanted to buy, if I remember right, it was an external hard drive for his PC. It was like a terabyte hard drive or something that we didn't have it in stock. Oh yeah, that's right. He ordered it online for click and collect. But when he'd turned up to pick it up. We didn't have it in stock. And got hard to talk, right? And do gameplay. Because I'm trying to remember this fucking story. So customer comes in. Didn't have it in stock, but he pre-ordered it. So we had then phoned a local store, which is a Swansea branch. He said, I'm going to Swansea anyway. I can pick it up there. So we'd phoned the store. Yeah, we got it in stock. It'll be here waiting for him when he comes in. Right, okay, no worries. So he goes all the way to Swansea. He done what he done. And then they'd sold it, but it's just to another customer or something. I'm not sure what the fuck happened, right? So now he's done what he had to do in Swansea. Fucking I turn up to shift, didn't know any of this at the time. Customer comes in, get me the manager, he says to the cashier. I was on my break, innit? So I'm at the back. I was in the office. I was just to catch up doing work on my lunch break. Fuck, don't do shit like that anymore, let me tell you. Cashier says, yeah, he wants to speak to the manager. Right, okay. And she was like, he's about to kick off. So he wanted... so basically he told me what happened. I apologised. Said, all right, I'm really sorry. And he had this big limp, like... I don't know how to describe it, but he was struggling, seemed to be struggling to walk, let's say. So, I was sympathetic with him. So I found another, all how they train you. As a manager, you have to come up with solutions for the customer's problems. So I thought, right, okay. I found the same size hard drive, and I was going to price match, but this was a better one, a better brand one, I should say. So I was going to price match the one that they originally wanted. So it was something like, because the other one was in sale, it was something like, let me just deal with these fucking guys. It was more discount than I had. As a manager, same as any other colleague in Currys, you get 10% off. This guy was having something like 40% off. And that wasn't good enough for him. He wanted it for something like... it was stupid, his expectation. He was trying it on. He was like, because of the petrol money, this and that. I couldn't. I wasn't authorised to pretty much. He wanted me to fucking give him this hard drive for free, basically. So I said, no, we can't. Then he left. And he was on the phone. He was like hanging around in the car park. I was hoping to level up. Yes, he was hanging around in the car park. He was on his phone or something. I think he was phoning customer services. And customer services had phoned the store saying, has a customer come in? And he said he was claiming that we'd sent him on this fucking wild goose chase and we were all laughing at him and stuff. And I'm like, no, that is not what's happening. And something they taught me as well is if you always go above what the company is willing to do, when they phone head office will say, well, actually, he's done more than we would do. So it kind of covers your own ass kind of thing. So that was really good advice I'd had off another manager, to be fair. So basically, he was trying to go over our heads. And the customer services basically said, if you phoned us straight away, we would not authorise what this manager's authorising you, what we could do for you. If that makes any sense. So he comes storming back in, but he was about half hour. I thought he'd gone. It's getting dark. It was dark by this point, right? And he comes in, and I noticed there, I thought, he's carrying his walking stick now. This guy was I'd say he was about 40. I'm 40 now, right? So he's about my age, I'd say, right? And I was, how old was I? I was about 30, early 30s I was when I was in Currys. Yeah, so I think I just turned 30. And this customer's there now. And I did look at him up and down to say, you've forgotten about your limp, mate. Because he was obviously angry, he'd forgotten this thing, right? Anyway, I'm not saying he was faking it. I didn't know what I'm doing now, right? We'll just go see what this fucking thing is here while I'm talking. yeah, so he come in and basically we're going round in circles, and I said to him, look sir, I'm offering you this. I'll stand by what I'd offer you. I have spoke to customer services. They've been on the phone with a version of events. You have to be very careful. You don't want to fucking call a customer a liar, do you? You have to use certain words and shit like that, right? So I asked him to leave. I said, look, this is what you can do for you, or I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And he was like, oh, right. So he left. He was rude to another customer or something. I was dealing with a customer. So he left. About 5 minutes went by. And we were coming close to closing. And if you remember, those of you in the UK, there used to be an electrical store called Comet. And there was a Comet on our retail park. And I would never close my store until Comet had closed their store. It was just something we were like told to be really extra fucking we told to be extra aggressive, don't close, delay closed, and blah blah, stay open longer than them, stuff like that, right? It's crazy the shit I used to do back in the day, right, for my job. So I popped my head out just to see if Comet, they were like not next door, but like next door, but one or two stores down. So I wanted to see if they were still open. So I popped my head, yeah, they were closed. So I'm on my way back, I turn round. This guy is jogging across the car park, right? This guy that's meant to be disabled. No sign of his fucking walking stick. And he's like marching, I should say, not jogging, he's marching. He goes, you what? You fucking said what? Like he's like starting a fight with me. I was in shock. I was like, excuse me, like looking behind me, knowing there's no one there, but it was still hard to believe what I was witnessing, right? He was like, you want to fucking go, do you want to? And he was like right up in my face, right? So I just pushed him away. Like I didn't even think, oh my God, he's going to fucking hit me. I just pushed him away, like, get away from me, pal. He jumps on the floor. And then first of all, he grabs his head. Not like a bad football dive. He grabs his head. Then he goes, then he grabs his leg. And it's like, my leg. He's rolling around on the floor like a child. Like a bad football dive crossed between a fucking 3-year-old kid having a little tantrum, right? I'm standing there thinking, what do I do? I got this man. I wanted to help him up, like, because he was on the floor. But I thought, no, just back away from him now. I walked back in the store and thought, don't worry, it's all on camera, because it happened right outside our shop. So I thought, I'm going to have to phone the police. So I said to one of the boys working, I said, right, don't let that guy come back in the shop. He's like, what's happened? I said, I told him what happened. So I'm just going to phone the police from the office out back. So I phoned the police. And while the phone was ringing, I thought, all right, I'll check the CCTV. I couldn't believe it, right? Behind me, as I left, the doors had just closed. And all you could see on the CCTV was the reflection of inside the store because it was dark outside. So I thought, oh my God, it's going to be my word against his. But I phoned the police, and the police came, and they were like, right, did you feel threatened by him? And I was like, not really, but basically the police were saying I was well within my rights. If I felt threatened by someone like marching towards me, you got every right to defend yourself if they get up into your personal space. So I thought, right, okay, so I wasn't too worried. But then this bloke had put a complaint in. He'd phoned the police as well, saying he'd been battered, like beaten to a pulp, blah, blah, whatever his fucking version of events. I thought, oh my God, it's my word against his. Thankfully, the like really high up people in Curry's were on my side. He got escalated to like our chief of security, who would like, he was saying, he talked to me and he was like, it doesn't make sense what he's telling me. He was gutted that I said first thing I checked was the CCTV. I thought that'll cover, my ass is covered if it's on CCTV. So he was phoning. It went on for a couple of weeks and it was really stressing me out, right? I knew I was in the right. Oh, where's the wind going that way? I knew I was in the right, but it was not nice having this hanging over my head. You know, I had other things going on outside work. I just didn't need this shit going on. So, do you remember in the story where I said he was rude to these customers? What was happening, right, was these customers had a faulty telly, and I was helping. I couldn't remember this, right, but I was helping these customers. They'd had insurance, and they weren't sure how. I couldn't remember. It was an issue where they didn't know how to explain what the fault was, or something like that, to the technicians. I can't really remember what it was, right? So a couple of weeks had gone by, and this man comes in, and a woman. I remember the man customer, and the woman said to me, "Oh, I couldn't believe what I witnessed a couple of weeks ago." Like, she wanted to know what happened. She said, "I couldn't believe it." I said, "What do you mean?" By sheer luck, so I was unlucky that it wasn't caught on CCTV, but I wasn't looking. Right in front of where it happened, a woman is sitting in the passenger seat of her car waiting for her husband to come out. So she witnessed the whole fucking thing. So I told her what happened. I said, "I've been accused of beating him up," and she basically said, "I witnessed, he threw his arms back and he dived onto the floor." That was her words. And I was like, "Oh, look," I told her what happened. I said, "He's phoned the police." And, you know, I didn't say my job was under threat, but I said, like, it doesn't make me look very good because there's no evidence. She said, "Here's my phone number, or do you want me to phone someone? I'll explain to them what happened." Obviously, this woman, nothing to do with me. Yeah, so then when the man found out, it was the last time, she said, "Oh, there was a witness, there was a woman sitting in the car." But he was after a payout, see? I think he was I will say, I think he was a fucking guy pretending to be disabled or exaggerating his disability because he forgot about it. He only used it when it was convenient for him. And yeah, he wanted a fucking payout, I think. That's why he was dealing with head office and stuff like that, you know? But I tell you, I was so fucking relieved when that woman said, "Yeah, I witnessed the whole thing." She said, "You went over by Comet, you turned around, this guy was like marching up to you. I thought he was going to hit you." Because she was on her phone or something, and she like was witnessing because he was saying, "You what, mate, you what?" She couldn't have been a better witness. She witnessed the whole thing. I just wish I knew there was a witness sooner, you know, but yeah, I probably do. I got so many stories. That was my Currys, one of my worst customers in Currys, let's say. I've had another one where the police were called. I've had one when I worked in the fashion industry where a woman, get this, a woman said, "I hope your kids die on Christmas Day." And that was in Swansea, actually. And you won't believe what a little thing to make this an old, elderly woman, I'd say, she was with her grandchildren. And she said to me, "I hope your kids die on Christmas Day." I haven't got kids, but still, what a horrible fucking thing to say to someone. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you like these retail nightmares, or whatever I'll call this this new addition to my channel. It might be a one-off, you know. But yeah, I haven't taken my tablet, so I thought I'll do a little fucking... get the camera on while I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, isn't it? Oh, return to the tail area. Anyway, thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.